What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the limited time event mode that dropped with this whole little Christmas update and with the beautiful little Christmas event that's going on right now. Now, the event itself is called the Winter Express, and we're going to go over the pros and the cons of this event, and honestly, really just kind of like my opinion on the event and how I think it compares into previous events that we've seen here at Apex. So, honestly, I kind of like this mode. Normally, I'm not the type of person, I guess, who's been enjoying these modes. I mean, obviously, I've enjoyed the solos, I've enjoyed duos, but when it comes to these little niche modes, I guess you could call them, I haven't had too much of a enjoyment with them. But I have to say, with the Winter Express, I like the pace change, because sometimes, when you go into Apex and you go into a match, like if you don't land immediately with someone, sometimes it can take you a little bit, at least from my experience, take you a little bit of time before you find somebody and somebody that you can actually, engage with. So Winter Express, completely removes that out of the equation, because the whole point of Winter Express is to capture the train. Now, to get on the train and to capture the train, it's actually pretty easy. You get launched when everybody else gets launched. When you go in, there's going to be 3 teams. It's going to be you and 2 other teams, and you're all fighting to take over this train. Once you land, and once somebody, basically, as soon as somebody's on the train, that countdown starts as far as them capturing the train. A lot of times, you might have to get in the center car to get things moving, or at the very beginning, once it stops at the station, boom, now you can get on the train. And you can land on the train whenever. You can land before the round starts, really, before it can even, take advantage of actually trying to capture the train. Or you can wait and you can kill everyone, and then you'll still, considered to have captured the train. So you can actually win the round without even stepping foot on the train, but it's recommended to step foot on the train because everybody else is going to be stepping foot on the train, and it is quicker. You can win the match without fighting anybody. If you can get to the train and you can capture that bad boy before anybody else gets on it, then boom, there you go. Now, the likelihood of that happening is very minimal. I think out of the games that I played, there was only 2 rounds where we actually capture the train. Normally you're killing everybody, or you're killing people just trying to capture the train, and sometimes you can kill them beforehand. There's, personally, to me, there's nothing sweeter than when you land and the person's not even on the train yet and you just take them out. I have a lot of fun with that. And honestly, this is a game mode where just about every playstyle can really get in somewhere. So whenever you have a defensive player, if you have Wattson or if you have Caustic, you can hold up in one of the train cars and you can set a really nice defense. And if you're more of a running gun, if you've got Pathfinder Wraith, anybody with kind of an escape, you can just run right up in the train, hold down the train, something happens, boom, you can get out. There's really no one that's super useless themselves whenever it comes to the train. Your hardest argument, I guess, would be maybe Lifeline, but even then, if you can stay alive long enough and use her ult, then she can be really useful, because everyone starts out with preset equipment, which I think, so every Apex update, every Apex limited time mode, there's something that they're testing. When it was the Halloween event, they were testing that kind of Berserker melee that I'm sure will wind up on another character. You don't just implement that just for a little mode. And everything that was before Season 3 were really just test parameters for Season 3 for the new map. So looking at everything here, I'd say that the thing that they might be testing is either capture points, or testing, preloaded, preset loadouts, which honestly I think are pretty cool. The coolest thing that I didn't realize that they did until I came back the next day to play this mode is that the loadouts actually rotate. They rotate daily, as far as I understand, and I thought that was a great idea, because some of the loadouts were ridiculous. And honestly, I still think some of the loadouts are ridiculous. How can you take a triple take and a hammer point? A triple take and P2020 with hammer point rounds, and have that fight up against a devotion. Like, what? Like, no. Some of these loadouts were booty. And really, that's where it kind of came in to me, is like what legend I was going to play. Now, obviously, if you have a main and you want to stick with your main, then okay. But if your main has a booty loadout, you might want to go somewhere else. And I think that's what really made me decide on who to pick, and who to play with. But their abilities still kind of came into play a little bit, but definitely not as much as the loadout. But that part I really liked. I really liked that the loadouts changed. I like that there was preset loadouts. Everybody had a blue shield, though. You couldn't get anything higher. There were no shields to pick up anywhere else. There was no other loot. You had your loot. And I think that's kind of neat. I do wish there could have been some loot, maybe that you could find that you could upgrade, or you could switch your weapons. Maybe keep the armor the same, because I like it when the armor is on the same field for everybody, because then for me it comes about like actually hitting your shots. If somebody's got blue or purple and you have no shield, then that's a whole lot harder for you to do anything. Another thing that I liked was that I don't know if it was a glitch or meant to be, but your heals, like you had unlimited heals. And I thought that was great, because that also rewards you for being able to escape a fight. If you can escape a fight, you should be able to heal up and then get back in the fight. Because in this game mode, once you're down, like, you're dead. Like, once you're dead, you're dead. And I like that. I like that there was also like a respawn to it, though. I felt like that's when the pace got a little messed up. You had it was like an immediate rush to the train sometimes, and then there's like this firefight. But then once you die, like, you're just kind of chilling for either the other team to kill the other team, or a team to capture the train, or for like a certain amount of time goes by, then everyone gets respawned. I like that everyone gets respawned, but I felt like that was a little late. Like, I think it should be a little bit more frantic and a bit more hectic. That's just how I view it, like capturing the train. I feel like it should have been more of a, like, you die in 30 seconds, boom, you come back. Because that's plenty of time, honestly, in my opinion, to like take the train, because it doesn't take long to take the train. It takes like 15 seconds to take the train if nobody else is on the train. Now, obviously, once somebody gets on the train, then it becomes contested, and you can't take the train. And if one of you's on one end of the cars, there's 3 cars. If you're on one car and then he's on the other, then you have to come to the middle to actually capture the train. And I like that, because it doesn't want you to sit there and be like, oh, you can't hang out on the train for a long time. But I feel like the respawns were, that's like one of the only things that I would really say that I would want to improve on this, as well as like more teams. I didn't like that there was only 3 teams. I kind of wish there would have been like an even number of teams in a way, because I feel like when you have an odd number of teams, then you have, like, there's automatically a third party, and that, I don't want that to be like the meta. And that's already the meta in Apex Legends, is, like, hang out for a gunfight. Oh, you hear a gunfight, okay, let's go third party that team. And I don't like that this game mode kind of like leaned on that some, because obviously, you're not going to wait for that other team to get done. Like, you got to go clean up. And if you're not one of the first 2 teams fighting, if you're the third team, sometimes it works. If you're not, then, it's pretty aggravating. So I kind of wish that there would have been, maybe 4 teams. Even if it was just, just another team, like 4 would have been great. But overall, I really liked it. Like, I liked getting on the train. I liked killing people. It was easy to get your kills. Obviously, nothing counts, which is frustrating. Like, what's the point of these limited time modes if you're not going to give us, like, the stats that go along with it? Now, mind you, it's like super easy to get a crap ton of kills in this game mode, but I kind of feel at the same time like it should count. I just feel like it should count. I feel like if something's your bread and butter and something, you're really good, like, then you should be able to be like, oh, hey, I did that for a little bit, look at all these kills I got. And, I don't know. I just feel like you should have. The Halloween event made sense, that, like, the shadows didn't count towards your kill count because they were shadows. They weren't players. Well, these are all players, honestly, on a level playing field, which to me makes it more fair that, like, your wins and your kills, they should go up on that. But they don't, so, oh well. Really, that's it, Like, those are about the only things that I could really complain about, is it that your stats don't count towards it, and that I feel like there's not enough teams in there, and that some of the loadouts were booty. I wish you could pick your loadout. Picking your loadout would be cool, and even if if somebody picked that loadout, you couldn't pick that. Like somebody on your team picked that loadout, you couldn't pick that loadout. I think that's fair, but keeping that random, I don't like. But I like the concept of it, but I feel like it needs tweaking. Just like, the Halloween had a really nice concept, but it also needed tweaking. But I don't think this is nearly as bad as, like, I don't know. I've just been seeing some negative things, I guess, about the Winter Express. And honestly, I enjoy it. Like, it's not a bad mode for me. It's pretty fun for me. And we'll throw a tips video up. I guess I've just been sleeping a lot on some Apex activity, been working a lot, so I'm trying to get back in the groove. So bear with me. If you could always smash that like button and hit with the subscribe if you'd like to hear some more. If not, then you have a great day anyways. Thank you so much for watching.